Dear students of 10th standard, get ready for new questions which may come in the main exam. So, wishing you all the best for your studies. Let us consider some questions from chapter 8. Write the differences between the unisexual and bisexual flowers. The unisexual flowers have only male or female reproductive organs, like one flower which contains the stamens only is a unisexual flower, or the flower which contains only the carpel. The different parts of the carpel will be the ovary, style and the stigma. If this question is asked, it will be mainly based on the diagrams, and this will contain only one kind of sexual organs. So these flowers depend mainly on cross pollination, because the pollen grains have to be shifted to the other flower. It is not possible to have the pollination in one single flower. Next, the examples for these flowers is papaya, watermelon and the cucumber related flowers. The bisexual flowers will have both male and female reproductive systems or organs in one single flowers. And in the flower, there will be stamens as well as the pistil. There will be possibility of the self-pollination in these flowers. Examples are generally hibiscus flower, and the ideal flower what you have drawn in the textbook what is given is an ideal bisexual flower. China rose, all these are examples for bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers are very much general, we have seen them, but very rarely cucumber family and the papaya related plants will produce the unisexual flowers. Question number 2. Name the sexually transmitted diseases caused by bacteria and viruses. Bacterial diseases are gonorrhea and syphilis. Remember this, virus causing some diseases through the sexual transmission is HIV/AIDS and the genital warts, or simply the warts. The next question goes like this: how can we stop the spread of the sexually transmitted diseases in humans? The spread of sexually transmitted diseases can be avoided or stopped by using the condoms during the sexual act. Let us consider some questions from chapter 9. Who determines the sex of the child? Mother or father? Explain your answer. It is obvious that the father, being the heterozygous, containing X and Y chromosomes as the allosomes, will determine the sex of the child. Because the sperms produced by the father are of two kinds. One may contain X chromosome and the other may contain the Y chromosome. If the X chromosome containing sperm unites with the egg, girl baby is born, and the sperm containing Y chromosome unites with the egg, the boy baby is born. So mother, being homozygous, always produce the eggs containing only the X chromosome. So she cannot determine the sex of the child. Now chapter 15, I have chosen some questions. These are very important. The first question is, in a food chain containing snake, frog, grass, grasshopper, eagle, if the snake gets 200 kilocalorie, what is the energy obtained by the grass? Here is, it depends upon the 10% law. The energy transmission will be only 10% of the original energy of the previous level. Only 10% energy is passed on to the next tropic level. The highest energy level will be with the producer, and when we move from tropic level 1 to tropic level 2, only 10% will be there. So you have to remove one zeros from the T1 to T2. Again remove one more zero from the number given. Any number may be given. Here it is 200. It can be given 100 or 500 kilocalorie. So while moving from T1 to T2, you have to remove one zeros, or you have to shift one decimal place. Now grass being T1, write the food chain for the given organisms. To confuse the students, these kind of questions will be asked. The question is very easy. You have to arrange the organisms first. Grass becomes T1, grasshopper which eats the grass is T2, frog is T3, snake is T4, and eagle is T5. As the question is 200 kilocalorie for the snake, so frog will be getting 2000, grasshopper will be getting 20,000, grass will be getting 2 lakh. 2 lakh means 3 more zeros should be added in front of 200. That is 200 into 10 into 10 into 10, because T1 is 3 stages behind. That means 3 tens must be multiplied. So this becomes 2 lakh kilocalorie energy which the grass will be getting. So the reason will be simply mention the 10% law. Because as per the 10% law, the energy obtained by the producer will decrease by 10% in every level. So snake being T4 having 200 kilocalorie will get 3 times 10, that is 10,000 times less than the grass which is at T1. So this is the reason you have to give, or simply mention the 10% law. Next question, construct the food web using the following organisms. By using the organisms given in the question, we can construct a food web like this. Grass eaten by the grasshopper, pigeon, rat, rabbit, deer. The pigeon being a grain eater, we can also add the pigeon here. These are all in the T2 level, and at T3 frog can be mentioned, and also the fox. At T4 snake is drawn here, and at T5 eagle as well as the tiger can be placed. So this is the best method to write the food web. Even you can show the rat directly to the snake. It is not given here. So you can mention all these type of food chains which are mixed in the single food web. Food web is nothing but the interconnected food chains. Now the other question related to the food web can be asked like this. How do you say that the complexity of the food web helps the environment to sustain? Now let us see. If the complexity of the food web increases, the possibility of getting food and energy to each level also increases. As we have seen, 10% law says that 10% energy is transferred. So when the availability of the food increases, the energy transferred to the top level also increases. So the top level organisms get more energy. The diversity in the food ensures the availability of the food, and also the increase in the amount of food they get So it helps to survival of the organisms. You can write the answers like this. Now, third question, let us see. In an environment containing 5 trophic levels, which one is least affected by the pesticides? Explain your answer. Now here it is a tricky question. They have mentioned 5 trophic levels. It is not necessary to know that which trophic level gets the least pesticide, because during biomagnification the harmful chemicals enter the food chain from the producers. The plants will absorb the pesticides from the ground, so they will have least amount of chemicals stored in their body. So the question may be whatever, the trophic level 1 is least affected by the pesticides. The biomagnification increases at each level. Unlike the energy transfer 10% law, this biomagnification will be the reverse of the energy transfer. Like from the first level to the next level, there will be more amount of chemical transfer. So top level will have the highest biomagnification, that is highest deposition of the harmful chemicals. So it will be highest affected by the pesticides. The diseases caused will be highest in the top level trophic levels. So here we can easily write the answer that the level 1, that is producer, will be having least affected by the pesticides. Now in the chapter 16, sustainable energy, now how is repurpose different from the recycling is asked. It can be also asked as how is reuse different from the recycling. Anyway, recycling is the last option. So repurpose as well as reuse aim to use the single material multiple times. That is, repurpose helps us to multiple use of the single product. So it saves the resource. That means if we use or repurpose the paper, it saves the bamboo or the wood. If we reuse or repurpose the glass, it saves the ores or the sand. If we reuse or repurpose metal things, it saves the metallic ores and it saves the mining, energy involved, transportation involved, and manpower involved in all these processes will be saved by repurposing or reusing the materials. But where is recycling? Recycling also is a very good habit, but it is the last option, because for recycling we need to spend energy, because we have to convert the material. If the plastic is reused or recycled, there should be the melting process which needs energy, manpower and water, all these. So the repurpose and reuse are more beneficial to the environment than the recycling. Now let us see what is Khadin is the question. What are the advantages? Name any methods similar to this. Khadin is nothing but a traditional method of rainwater harvesting. It is followed in Rajasthan state of India. Advantages of Khadin, or you may be asked what are the advantages of any traditional rainwater harvesting methods or rainwater recharging methods. Or you may be asked as what are the uses of check dams or small dams the answer will be all similar to these points. So these rainwater harvesting methods like Kadin or Katta in Karnataka, Surangam in Kerala, Khuls in Himachal Pradesh, or Bandharas or Tals in Maharashtra, all these have the same purpose. That is, they store the rainwater locally and they recharge the groundwater table. It increases the moisture level in the agricultural lands in the surrounding. It helps to recharge the water level of the surrounding water bodies like wells, ponds, or the lakes or the rivers. It even helps to increase the vegetation in the surrounding. It provides the water needed for the agriculture, drinking purpose without any harm to the environment. So, the different rainwater harvesting methods can be separately asked, and you may be asked to write the advantage. You can write the same points for any other harvesting methods.